Drew. Okay, here we go. You ready? Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Friday edition of Morning Scone, presented by Brock. Indeed, Drew. It is Morning Scone, presented by Brock. Hey, Drew, what do you think we should talk about today? You think we should talk about LSU and Will Wade meeting? You think we should talk about the poetry show? Wow. Okay, I guess we're talking about poetry show this morning, y'all. Let's see. Hope y'all are having a good morning so far. Apologies for being a few minutes late. I don't know if y'all are having trouble with Facebook this morning, but I was sitting there for about 5 minutes trying to log on. So if y'all heard him fussing right when we went live, that's why. Because I was like, I kept having to start it and restart. Anyway. Let's see. Let's say some good mornings. A lot to get to here in the show today. Trivia, good morning. Stephen Miller, Chris Merrill, good morning. Don Bolton, Craig Polk. Hey, Mandy, good morning. Bob Kubrick, Danny Brabham, Megan Boyce Hurst, good morning. Do we know what time they are meeting? Do not. I did not get that information confirmed yesterday. Jackie Caruso is Wade reinstated. I doubt you will see that happen today. Dusty Revere, good morning. Craig Dugat, today's the day. I'm giddy like a schoolgirl on her first date. Free Will Wade. I'll continue. I don't want this to be a tinkle in your Cheerios. But everyone I talk to, stress to me, this is not the end. This is a first step. So they're meeting today, but don't expect a reinstatement today. I'll still maintain, even though no one has confirmed this to me, I will maintain that they are efforting to get this whole thing rectified before Wednesday with the signing period. So, I think that's going to be their target, but I don't think you're going to see a reinstatement today. At least that's my feeling so far. That I've been sort of it's been expressed to me, like this is not the end, this is a first step. Bye, Miss Gayla. We're gonna go say hi, Miss Gayla, today.
Bye, Miss Gayla.
And then, hey, after we see Miss Gayla, then who do we see on Fridays? Mama. Yep. Mama's phone. Let's see. Dawn, good morning. Ben Clark, good morning. Really good day, though, man. You got a lot going on. We got these basketball guys declaring. By the way, I posted Emmett Williams' decision yesterday on Facebook, and I went last night and read the comments. There were many of them. I still think most people don't understand how this process works, how the new process in basketball works. I mean, Tremont did this a year ago. Blakeney did this after his freshman year, where you can go sort of test the waters and then make the decision to come back. Tremont and Nas are gone. They're not coming back. Like, Will Wade even said at his introductory, or at the media day this year to start the season, he said, enjoy Nas Reed because he's only here for one year. I mean, Will Wade said that on the record. They knew all along Nas was a one and done. That he had made his mind up. He was one and done. Tremont was going this year as well after coming back following last year. The other three guys could all still return. And quite honestly, be it not for all the stuff with Will Wade, I would expect them all to return. That's a variable that makes it a little less certain, but I think you're probably going to get two of the three. And I'll tell you the one all year that they were worried about was Emmett. But a midway point, not even midway, there was a point in the season early where he kind of hit his stride, was playing really good, and he was like, and they were like, so anyway, Emmett's the one I think you really have to watch, but I think Javante's back. I don't know about Skylar. I was surprised he declared to begin with, but okay. Stephen Walzak, good morning. With all the NBA draft announcements, do you think the NBA's draft process would work in other sports? Meaning declare, go to the combine, talk with evaluators, be able to return to school for another season. Remember, baseball, that's because of the calendar, it's the same with baseball. Basketball essentially adopted baseball's calendar. Baseball has the draft, and then you make your decision if you're going to sign. And similarly, you can go right out of high school, but if you show up on campus, you're there for 3 years. I think baseball has the best situation for both, for the colleges and for major leagues. But do I think we'll see it in football? No. What I think is more likely in football is Cookie Elephant. How about you watch Cookie Elephant on mommy's phone when mommy comes in? All right, happy plate. Come see, happy plate.
Poetry show.
Poetry show. Whoops. Wait. Got it. Okay, you are free. Okay, you're free. All done. All right. Let's see. I'm with Drew Poetry. It is Donnie. Don Bolton, Free Will Wade. What was it? Who was that asked about the draft with the NFL? It was Steven. Steven, I think something that's more likely to happen with that is just because physically it's more rare that you're ever going to see someone who as a freshman is physically ready to go play in the NFL. There's been instances. Adrian Peterson could have done it after his freshman year. If you go way back, Herschel Walker probably could have done it after his freshman year. It's a rarity, but there are those guys who can. And sometimes at positions, maybe like at cornerback, Patrick Peterson physically probably could have. I don't think he was good enough then. Remember, he didn't start till halfway through his first year. But I think what's more likely is you'll see guys go XFL if they'll pay. Guys that just want to get paid. William Engelman, good morning. No take on midweek games, KNOW. Assuming baseball goes 20-10, does it mean 8 seed instead of a 3 or a 4? So that's a good question, but honestly, it doesn't matter because they don't reseed in Omaha, which I think is stupid. I think they should, but they don't. So it's a legitimately good question, and maybe. Depending on what everybody else does. But realistically, it doesn't matter. Like I do wish they would reseed the field when they got to Omaha. And then one would play 8 and so on. They just don't do it that way.
Yeah, sure.
Hi.
Super Grover.
And by the way, they pair regionals and super regionals oftentimes by location, by proximity. Shooby dooby dooby doo.
Shooby-doo.
Shooby doo.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Let's see. Ronnie Dugas, Ben Clark, good morning. Justin Reyes, is there a chance the basketball team has possible upcoming NCAA sanctions? Of course there is. I would fully expect that the NCAA will formally investigate LSU basketball. I mean, it would seem as though that wiretap is enough of a cause to open an investigation. I would expect that, yeah. Is he reinstated before the signing period? Stephen, bro. Thank you for the share, by the way. Sharing is caring. Oh, I got to do that as well. Thank you, Stephen. You reminded me. Please hit the share button if you've not done so yet. Giant help. And please like the Brock page, which is tagged in this post. Is he reinstated before the signing period? Stephen, unless if there's variables that we don't know, which is always possible, then I would say that's their target. If you made me guess, like, Matt, you have to make a decision. Is Will Wade reinstated before next Wednesday? I would guess yes. I would think this meeting is a step toward Will Wade feeling comfortable like he'll get a favorable outcome. I think there have been coaches in very tenuous situations before, i.e. Sean Miller, Bruce Pearl, and they have continued on. But this was a first step, a necessary first step. And I'll grant you it's not apples to apples because those coaches it wasn't them on a federal wiretap discussing compensating a player. But I would tell you that's their target. I would think that's the goal. And as I've said all along, they want the LSU administration. I got to take a big old victory lap when this happens, y'all. Just prepare for it. I've said all along. LSU's administration did not want to fire Will Wade. They did even fired already. I've said that 8 bajillion times over the last 34 days. Hi.
Oh, yeah. Walk.
What?
Walk.
Walk.
Ah.
Hi. Hey, Drew. After Dad's show, and we have 16 more minutes of Dad's show. After Dad's show, we are gonna go see Miss
Yeah.
Gayla, and then Mama, who says psst, and takes you to Audible. That's right.
Walk.
Poor mom. When you walk, yes. My poor mom. My mom's like the sweetest little old grandma lady who would like probably never step foot in Home Depot ever. Like she has no reason to ever go outside of Home Depot. Trivia, you did not stream your LSU lecture. Sorry about that, man. I had intended to, and there wasn't really a setup where I could have put the phone. I mean, I guess I could have, like, up under my nose or something. Poor planning on my part, man. And even like as I was starting, I was planning on doing it. But my bad, dude. Sorry. Brant, I spoke at an LSU class yesterday for those that aren't aware. And I mentioned that I was going to stream it, and I should have. It went really well. Is Will Wade still being called as a witness or no? That's from Brandon. So that's not been, a federal judge is going to decide that ultimately, but federal prosecutors have asked the judge to strike those subpoenas. And naturally, the federal prosecutor doesn't want those coaches there. He's basically saying the case isn't about the slimy underbelly of college basketball. It's about, did this guy bribe people? He's not wrong. Craig Dugas, I'm just expecting news, an update, if you will. Gotcha. Yeah, no, so I don't think there's going to be anything formal. Like, I don't think LSU is going to release a statement today after this meeting. Just to be clear. Like, I don't know why they would. That's not to say you won't get some off-the-record commentary or comments, which could happen. And I hope it all happens before 3. Let's see, Stephen Miller, Jordy pumping the sunshine, proclaiming a 5 p.m. announcement. Think that's just the fan in him, though. LOL. I hope it happens, man. That'd be great. But and maybe so. Look, here's the other thing I'll tell you, and it may be, and I don't mean to speak like if this is common knowledge, but just for those that maybe don't understand how this process works sometimes. When you hear people talk about sources, right? There are always different elements in a story that have certain access. Hi, Miss Gayla. What? Yeah. Okay. What? So, in this case in particular, there's a couple of different places you can go for information. Elmo. You can Alexander's walk. Yeah. Okay. You can go to a media relations member at LSU, public relations, someone who is trying to control the message from LSU, who can maybe reveal some information. You can go directly to Will Wade or Will Wade's attorney, someone involved there, or a third party who might be having some oversight of this. For example, board of supervisors, a member, or the president of the university, or someone who works in the president's office, right? So there's part 2. Okay, part 2. So my point is, like, depending on who you ask, and this is my point with LSU all the time, very rarely do you have one unified message with everybody on the same page, which annoys me, because that's why you end up with a lot of PR disasters, because you have people talking, and that's when you get leaks and sources, and everybody's not singing the same song. And so that's when you oftentimes get a confused message. So my assumption would be look, we all know Jordy's close to Will, and that's cool. I'm not saying anything about that, but it makes sense naturally that's where he's getting his side. So of course he's going to get that part of the story. what I would say is, okay, if that's what this is saying, what is LSU saying? And if you have a conflict in those, if you have two conflicting ideas, well, then you've got to be responsible about, I shouldn't say responsible, that makes it sound negative. You have to be careful about what you put out there. Because if one side is telling you one thing and another's telling you this, then who's lying? And the truth usually lies somewhere in the middle. You gonna dance? Okay. All right. Don Bolton, Matt, can Coach Wade recruit at the moment? No, he can't. So that's a big deal. So his staff is doing the recruiting for him right now. Hey, Ronnie. Hey, Robbie. What's up, man? Matt Lusto. Any word on Marceau's arm post Tuesday? Felt good, just not ready to pitch again. So Marceau did not travel to Missouri, but they said he's fine. He's just not ready to pitch again. So I would assume he threw 40 pitches. So I would assume next week in the midweek you'll see him again. Here's hoping he's a little sharper. Hey, Deborah Todd. Good morning. Brian Wynn. What's up? Craig Duga. Question. If an agent is hired, they can still come back. I'm so confused about the rules for this. That's a good question. So last year they changed that rule for basketball. If you hire an agent, you can hire an accredited agent. You get one that is accredited, like checkmarked by the NCAA to say, okay, they're good. And as long as you sever your relationship with that person before the deadline to return to school, you can return. So, and think about it, like, and the same is true in baseball. When you get drafted, you can have contact with an agent to help advise and negotiate a deal. Like, if you, let's say you get drafted and you want to negotiate with a team, well, if you don't have an agent doing that for you, then as a 20-year-old, whatever, you're negotiating with the team yourself. So it can be done responsibly and should be done responsibly. And I think you're seeing like this can happen and the world doesn't burn. So, but to answer your question, yes. What?
A painting.
A painting. Oh, you're watching a painting? I'm so proud of you with your words. A painting. He's watching Classical Baby, the lullaby show. And that lullaby is called The Painting. So yes, Craig, you can hire an agent now. It has to be an accredited agent, and you have to sever ties with them before the deadline to return if you want to come back. Charlie Cavell, Clayton Wolf. Hey, Dad, good morning. Charlie, so the poop show will go down today. This is hurt recruiting. I don't think there's any question it's hurt recruiting. It's naive to think it wouldn't if you don't have a coach in place and all that stuff. I think the question is, if they get Will back in place, how quickly can he get everything back on track? Ty Levine, BJ Clark, Brian Myers, Kerry Montz, Justin Reyes with the new Zion accusations. Y'all should get Dick E.V. back on. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I'd gladly have Dick Vitale on. And just candidly, I think we talked about this when Jordy and T-Bob had him. If I had Dick Vitale on the show, it would be a very different interview stylistically. Like, I don't like the yelling back and forth. I'm not saying it's good or bad. Like, they did compelling radio. That was fantastic. It's just not what I would do. So if I ever had Dick Vitale on, it just wouldn't sound like that. Anyway, Montrell Lindsay, unless if he started yelling at me, in which case I would continue to tone my voice down to let him continue looking like he looked. Anyway, Montrell Lindsay, Douglas Duhan, good morning, Craig. My prediction is Wade is reinstated. Skylar and Emmett are back. LSU bunts more tonight. I disagree with the bunts, and honestly, of the three, I can tell you flatly, Emmett was the one this year who they were sweating, and I think I've said that all year long. They were sweating him all year. So now, if there's more to the Javonte story with the Wade tapes and all, then that could change his future too. Stephen Bro, is there any way to salvage this recruiting class? Sure. I think it's part one. I think it's worth noting that if they've been doing their jobs, part one. Oh, is this part two? Okay, part one. You got part two on? Part one. Okay, Lullaby Show part one. The coaches at this point, the assistants, their message has been, I think we asked Tony Benford this, what's your, and he just said, messages, look, just sit tight. Just sit tight, get all this figured out. And if guys desperately want to be at LSU, they'll wait an extra week or whatever it may take. And I'll also remind you that when Will came in 2 years ago, he worked hard to cobble together a roster. Because remember, he came in and he kind of purged everything. And I think they turned over like 7 roster spots that year. Now, he searched high and low, and he went and got guys like Jeremy Combs and Randy Onwasser. And, I mean, he cobbled it together. But he can do it. 9, 10. 19. I love you. Can I have a hug?
Part 1.
Part 1? Part 1? What are you saying, part 1?
Part 1.
Part 1. Okay. Let's see. Stephen Miller, do you agree or disagree with Watson coming out in the media with teams' overall feelings about midweek games? I think players are a reflection of their coach. And Paul is always candid, and I think that's why you see baseball players tend to be more candid. And I've listened to enough interviews in my life. I've been in enough media sessions in my life to know you can see the ties. And I also know that all of the LSU athletes, they work with, Dr. Karam, and they work on how to handle media and interviews and things like that. I got 5 minutes. So for those that missed it, Zach Watson essentially said, like, it's hard to get up for midweek games. Like, there's nobody there. The intensity's lacking. And he's right. I think that's human nature. Let's see. Hey, Chris Keller, Chuck Bro, good morning. Stephen Miller. Psst. Jake Nola, Irfan, good morning. Nick Oakwin, Joseph, good morning. Joseph Clemens. Nighttime. So sweet. Wow. Craig Savoy, good morning. Justin Beard, Brad Ferrand. By the way, apologies. Man, this week has been kind of crazy. I missed Locked On 2 times this week, but I am going to record an episode today. It's going to be a little bit later, but I do want to get into a full LSU-Missouri preview, and then we'll react to all the basketball stuff as well. So hopefully y'all can catch us on the Locked On podcast today. My apologies for this week. It's my mornings have been, and I got to bring him to therapy. I've got a meeting at Aesthetic Medicine at 9:15, and then a meeting at Calandro's at 10:15. So Locked On may not come until closer to noon, but I'm gonna do it today. We'll be done today. I got a noon meeting too. All right, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it today. Mark, good morning.
Hi.
Stephen Bro didn't catch the whole segment with Mike D. Did he say if wings make any moves to get up and get some? Michael and Kat. Did you see Michael and Catherine yesterday? Happy birthday. He said if they move up, it would be to get a swing offensive lineman. Wade got screwed like Assange. Free Will Wade today. I don't know what that means. Mark, Alvin Gentry for you said that yesterday, Mark. Brian Ashcraft, good morning. I'm going fast, y'all. I got to shut this down at 8 because I got to get him to therapy. Hey, Sean Ewing, Craig Savoy. Regardless of what happens with Wade, the administration of this university absolutely needs their walking papers, and it's long overdue. I don't disagree. At all. But I think it goes even beyond the administration. I think it's the board of supervisors, and I think it starts at the very top of the part 1 fast. I think LSU has become a symptom of what has ailed this state for many, many years. Hey, Uncle Mike, good morning. Hey, Tiffany Brando Cruz, good morning. Clayton O'Callahan, good morning. Matt, do you think we will continue to see Broussard in the 5-6 hole? No, I don't know. I think that was a thing where, yes, lefties, but also the other part of that too is you didn't have Cabrera last week. So Maneri was trying to strategically plant a right-handed bat to break up the lefties, but with Cabrera either in the 4 or the 5 hole, I mean, I would like to see Cabrera in the 4 hole and Reed batting 8th. But it doesn't appear like that's what Maneri's going to do. So, all good. But no, I do not expect to see Broussard in the 5-hole today. No. Carlton Cisco, good morning, Matt and Drew from Dallas. Love the show from any city. My 8-year-old Samuel declared for the NBA this morning. I'm so proud of him. We haven't hired an agent who's eligible to return to the Katy Dragons next year. Well, good luck to the Katy Dragons with or without Samuel. I hope it's a fantastic season. James Tyrone, what's up? Brennan Kluka, happy Masters Friday. True, what a day yesterday at the Masters, huh? Old Tiger had himself a day. Anthony, what's up, bud? Sam Dixon, good morning. James Tyrone, one more trivia. Jordy is close to Will, Ed, Dee Dee, and Paul. Who are close to Matt? That's for me to know. Let me ask you a question. When am I ever wrong? Not on opinions, on news. When have I ever been wrong? Think on that one, trivia. One more thought, and then we'll go. This will be my parting shot for the day. I have no desire, ever, to break news. There are many. Lullaby show. There are many. Part 1 fast. Okay. Are you watching part 1 fast? Drew come. Michael and Catherine. You saw them yesterday. There are many times that I have stories, I have news, and I give those leads to people I trust to break the stories so that way I can talk about them on the air. As a sports talk radio host, breaking news does me no good. Nobody remembers who breaks a story. Who broke the story of Ed Ogeron getting hired? Who broke the story of Will Wade getting hired? Who broke the story of Paul Maneri signing his contract extension 2 years ago? Breaking news does me no good. Zero. You know what kills me? Being wrong. So, take information that I have, and I use that to construct my opinions. My opinions aren't just guesses. But I learned a long time ago, how you handle sensitive information determines whether or not you continue to get sensitive information. And there's a reason, strategically, why you don't know who I'm close to. Think on that. Shout out to Brock, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. All right, Drew.
Bye, Dad.
Bye, Dad show. Let's go to therapy, okay? Go see Miss Gayla. Can you blow everybody a kiss? Mwah. Okay.
Mine.
Okay, bye.